I'm happy. Slightly. I'm pleased. Manchester United beat Chelsea 2-1 in what was one of the most interesting games I've seen in a long time. This game has brought me a sense of happiness that I've probably not felt since United beat Olympique Lyonnais last season. And obviously, this channel wasn't up around then. Two things can be right, though, guys. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but two things can absolutely be correct. I can be very happy with the fact that we beat Chelsea, a still very good Chelsea team. But I can still be upset or displeased at the performance. And I am. I'm going to make that clear with you guys. I am. But let's get into it. 5 minutes in, United are playing their typical just heave the ball from the back, outside Bindier, out to Benjamin Sesko, see what happens, I guess. He heads the ball down very nicely to Brian Mbumo. Robert Sanchez comes out like a bat out of hell and just takes out Mbumo. Everyone knows it's going to be a red card. It's deserved red card. United then score, a scrappy header goal, and then a few minutes later, another one comes in. But in between those two goals, Chelsea made these changes that I think puzzled a lot of people. So they took off Esteval the second Sanchez got suspended or red carded. So he's off just to replace Sanchez. Then they immediately take off Pedro Neto. Then a few minutes later, they take off Cole Palmer. So within what feels like maybe a 3-minute span, 3 of Chelsea's 4 best players are off the pitch. 3 best attacking players, I should say, are off the pitch. And you might be asking, why is this something that they're going for? But I actually think when you look at how Manchester United, quote unquote, air quotes here, want to play, it's kind of just based on madness. And it's kind of based on throwing the ball into the box, trying to get on a 1-on-2 or a 2-on-1, trying to do whatever you can to create the best chance possible in the shortest amount of time, which isn't an efficient way of football. So I think what Maresca thought was, if I just stack the box, clog it with Chelsea players, there's a little to no chance that United will get a first goal or a second goal. And I kind of feel bad for him because his thinking was right, because that was kind of United's game plan. And both the United's goals kind of just come off of Chelsea players acting just a little bit slower to it. That's typically something we see United do, but today Bruno Fernandes was just on it. Patrick Dorgu was just on it. Was it Casemiro who got the second United goal? Yeah, they were just on it just a little bit better than Chelsea was in the crucial seconds of the match. And that is what turned it. And like I said, it does kind of make you feel a little bit bad for Maresca because I actually think they played the game really, really well. And so, but anyway, United get 2 goals. Chelsea are down to 10 men. And then Casemiro gets a second yellow card, which in my opinion feels a little soft, but it happens. It's 2-0. Each team has 10 men going into the second half. But I'm not going to go over the second half without mentioning this. In the first half, guys, the momentum of the game was almost begging United to score a third or a fourth goal. The Stretford end, all of Old Trafford was pushing United on. It almost felt like the rain was hurting Chelsea, but it was giving more energy to United. Everything just felt like United go on, get a second, or get a third, get a fourth. All these things. But Man United just played way too much into the momentum, guys. Here's what I mean by that. I saw it with Matthias de Ligt a number of times, and a couple other guys kind of throughout the first half. Probably about 8 or 9 times, so you could point this out. United, or I'll use de Ligt here as an example. De Ligt will get the ball on the right edge of the box, and he'll have absolutely no option to pass to. Why? It's not necessarily because Chelsea's defense is playing some phenomenal line. It's because the Man United players had already made their movements before de Ligt even received the ball. And what I mean by that is, we'll talk about it here, in the second half, when United looked most dangerous, everyone was moving with the ball. It wasn't just the fact that when United created goal-scoring chances, they were on a counterattack. No, it was because when United got the ball, the players reacted to that movement, reacted to how the player received the ball, tried to open up space for the player who was on the ball. In the first half, it was de Ligt gets the ball. No matter what situation he's in, the United players are going to make this direct run into the box. It's just killer. You're moving, you're ending the attack before it even really begins. I mean, it is probably, as the ball is still halfway to Delict, you're seeing these players make these darting runs inside the box. What's supposed to happen when Delict gets onto the ball? Don't ask me why we are putting the stress of a cross into the box or link up play to Matthias Delict. We saw it against Grimsby, by the way. But it's just, you're moving too fast. And I've said it on here before, guys. I did think this was supposed to be a United team that was supposed to be calmer with the ball. That's not calm at all. If United had played that first half calm, we wouldn't have all been having, hypertension towards the end of that match. United would have been up 3-0 easily at the end of the first half, just because everything else was pushing United to get to third or the fourth. But they just couldn't because they were playing way too fast. So Casemiro gets the red card. Second half, I'll give United a little bit of credit. They did do a good job, like I said, slowing down the attacks a little bit. Still moved a little fast probably, but they did a decent job. But eventually, when Chelsea started to find their gear a little bit, all the momentum swung their way. 79th minute, Trevor Chalobah gets a goal. And guys, oh my gosh. This is so upsetting. 2 years ago, one of the most heartbreaking losses of my life. United go up 3-2, down 2-0, go up 3-2 against Chelsea. And at the last second, Chelsea get a penalty, it goes 3-3. At the last second, Chelsea get a corner kick. And they play it short on the edge of the box to Cole Palmer, and he shoots, he scores. Chelsea win the game 4-3. Mauricio Pochettino goes sprinting onto the pitch. It's at Stamford Bridge, so they're smacking the freaking ad boardings, whatever it is. A dreadful memory in my life. The number one thing that killed United on that play, no one got to the guy on the edge of the box. So please, can somebody tell me why? United are going under pressure. Chelsea looked the most likely to score. Chelsea get a corner. You have plenty of time to set up, and we're just leaving the Chelsea guy on the edge of the box once again. Hello? This is literally deja vu from 2 seasons ago. Sure enough, the ball comes into the box. I forgot who it was. Crosses it in. Trevor Chalobah scores. It's 2-1. Where is just the basic... you had it kill you 2 seasons ago, and now we're just letting the same exact thing happen again. That drove me livid. But honestly, throughout the whole entire second half, a majority of the second half, Chelsea had just found their form a little bit better. They were starting to expose the everlasting weaknesses that we know about this Manchester United team. And when United didn't necessarily look terrible, but you began to start thinking again, yeah, this is why United are kind of where they are. Chelsea, despite having made all these changes and are losing all their attacking pieces, are still creating decent half chances time and time again. Despite the energy being in United's favor, despite the momentum being in United's favor, they had just found a way to fight through that. And that is a massive mark on the game for Ruben Amorim. And we are relatively lucky that that first Chelsea goal wasn't followed up immediately with a second. Because United did just a good enough job after that first goal to end the momentum for a little bit and then make the final 5 minutes just be a who has more energy, in which United ultimately did. Guys, we're seeing in the 89th minute, in one of the most pivotal moments of the game, debatably the most pivotal moment of the game, it was actually probably in the 94th or 95th minute, Reece James is driving with the ball, looking like Iron Man, and then he just falls down because he's tired or because he slips. But, if that was a full health, a full energy Reece James that was playing with, 10 other guys on the field for 85 minutes, there's a good chance something good would have been created there. So, United are benefited greatly off the fact of that early Robert Sanchez mistake. But nonetheless, United got a win. And so I am, maybe this video didn't, give my message well enough, but I am extremely pleased. I am very happy that United won. Nonetheless against Chelsea, nonetheless against the Big Six, because we needed that. Are there still question marks? Yes. Anybody with one eye can see that this United team is not going to have a good season if we keep playing the way we are. And I unfortunately have the feeling that we will keep playing the way we are. But at the end of the day, guys, United won. And that's all that really matters. So that'll be all from me today. Next match, there'll be a video out. And I'll talk to you all soon. God bless.